Hi everyone, Bandanner here, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another WARNO video, and today we're talking about the brand new update, which is Reinforcement Pack number 2. Obviously, it has brought one of the most important fixes to the game, as for nearly 3 years we have suffered with a sound exploit that was there in SD2, but not there in Wargame. It has now been rectified. You will still hear units which are closer to your front line, but not as from far away. Helicopters and jets, however, can be heard from further away because, well, they're very loud objects, especially jet engines. I'm not going to go into detail on all of the patch notes because it's exceptionally long. They've made massive changes, pricing changes. The good news is the Harrier's finally been buffed, but I'll let you read all of that in your own time rather than make my throat very bad by trying to read it all out. However, what we will do is first talk about the community tools and then take a look at the new map. So the community tools have been upgraded. This is all about the modding and the map editor. So first off, from now on it is possible to integrate new 3D models in-game through mods. Eugen, note that unlike Steel Division 2, mesh export isn't done via 3ds Max but via Blender, and it was like a really weird version of 3ds Max they used. But Blender is obviously free, thus it is accessible to everybody. The modding manual has been updated, among other things, with instructions on how to import various asset types, including meshes. They've also reached another major step with the map editor. It already allowed to create new variants of skirmish scenarios from the existing maps. Now it allows you to create and export brand new maps using all of WARNO's level building assets. In other words, you can now introduce new height maps into the game engine. So once a new map has been created, it is possible to create new scenarios in order to play tactical games on it, be it in skirmish, multiplayer, or as a tactical battle launched through the Army General campaign. Obviously nothing on the single mission operations yet, but fingers crossed they're coming sooner rather than later. For those interested in learning more, the How to Make a Map and How to Make a Scenario PDF manuals are available in the Tools folder of the game, containing further instructions. I am also sure that a wooden box will be putting up some videos. In addition, to make the modding side of things a little bit easier for everybody, 2 mod tags have been added to Steam in the workshop, Scenario and Maps. This will allow you to filter easily mods which are scenarios or maps. If players have already uploaded a mod with scenarios, they will have to upload it again after this patch to get the proper tag. So it will be a little bit of extra work for those who have already uploaded stuff. Now before we head in game and take a detailed look at the new map, I just wanted to mention that there's also 2 new urban front line scenarios, a 1v1 scenario as well as a 10v10 variant. They call them scenarios, it's just that variant of the map, you know? And I will quickly mention the data fixes, because these are the big changes to the game rather than going into all the pricing and everything else. But there's been an ATGM suppression overhaul, so all missiles, mostly suppression increased, with the Vikia and Hellfire not concerned, so they haven't changed those. Cannons on planes have had a 20% suppression increase. They've added a 20-second reload time for laser-guided bombs. Obviously, they've been strong for a very long time. Electronic warfare and jammer traits plus 10% range. There's been a change to vehicle speed overall, which is a decrease of around 10%. Harriers have had a 10% speed increase and a 40% turn radius improvement. Helicopters have had a stun threshold increased. The Shilka salvo length has increased from 5 to 10. They fixed some autocannon HE-AP precision. DCA cannon can now fire on light armoured vehicles. All SPAGs concerned get a plus 10 points price increase. Basically, it's a big change to the self-propelled anti-aircraft guns that allows them to fire at vehicles on the ground. I mean, they would do it in real life, so it makes sense. And finally, the military police trait now works on transported units. And while I'm here, since there is a generic section as well, SAM missiles now cost 25, 50 and 100 points per missile depending on caliber. That means the cost of supply, by the way. Ground and helicopter anti-tank missile supply costs set at 30 per missile. The tall missiles now have a minimum range of engagement of 1,000 meters against helicopters. Laser-guided bombs, HE, has been overhauled. And the CM61A1, the 145 and 165mm AVRE cannons have been overhauled. I believe it's simply the case that they now ignore cover. Okay, anyhow, let's head into the game and have a look at the new railway map, because I really love the design, especially around the railway itself. Let's have a look at railway. So, nice big map, corner to corner. Not enough maps like this makes the map feel really big, in my opinion. Psychological thing, I know, but it makes it feel really big. It's a big map anyway, but you get the idea. 3v3 map. Big open spaces at the sides here, more for getting stuff around the back, but plenty of buildings dotted around that's going to allow you to just get some recon in there and cover the sides of the map, like there and there. You know, you're going to have plenty of cover to protect the sides as long as you choose to use it. Get someone in the buildings here and down here. Gives you line of sight right to the edge of the map, because getting around the back into Elena or Constantine is definitely a possibility with, you know, a command in a helicopter. Here as well, at this side, Jot and Chariton at the back there, definitely possible. Chariton in particular, because there's a lot of cover around it. You can't really protect that very well from people sneaking around the back, because all these tree lines go into it. So, sneaky behavior around there. Gregory and Ivan, a lot of fighting over this when I played this map. Obviously, it's very easy to push into either one. There's tree lines covering all the way through the middle. And then you've got some nice buildings dotted around in the center here, which allow you line of sight down some of these railway tracks and things. Definitely want to be making good use of those as well. Over at this side, these two central points, Dimitri is really the one I can imagine there's going to be a lot more fighting over. The buildings here allow you to get into Dimitri very easily, whereas there's a bit of a gap between these buildings and Fedor. So Fedor's a little bit harder to get into, in my opinion, whereas Dimitri is going to be quite straightforward to push into with the cover as it is. Elena and Constantine, I can't imagine they're going to get pushed very much. I think they're going to be more if and when you sneak some around the back. Center of the map, Boris, center, tend to be taken by their respective sides. However, you can easily push into either. Center perhaps being the easier one to get into because the tree line's there. So if you look at this side, you've got Boris, and then you've got a big open space. So it's much easier to cross into this side in center, so get into Anna, get into center because of the cover. Now let me show you the cover, because this is the exciting stuff. So they've added all of this, and it's made into cover and everything else. I mean, the detail is stunning. And these new transport cars are fantastic. Look at this. Look at how they block the cover as you move around. Or block the line of sight, I should say, not block the cover. It's fantastic. You can sneak up in here. You can put people in these buildings, which gives great line of sight down the sides. But you can sneak right up to them by moving through these little sets of cars. And they're all the way along. And it's really nice that they've added something else that's cover like that, because I felt like there wasn't enough in the game. You've either been relying on trees or buildings for the most part. So it's nice that these are now in and acting as cover like that. And they're all the way along. So there's various points where you'll see loads of those just stationed. You've got various buildings in here, some of them seeing nicely down the train tracks like this one here. That's going to give great line of sight that way as well. But there's plenty of opportunity to sort of sneak up on the enemy and get in really up close and personal. A lot of detail on these carriages. Yeah, there's a lot of repetition. But it does look really good. I really like the train track stuff. If only we could have a train simulator in here, or a building railway simulator. Transport Tycoon, anyone? Well, I love the scale of this map. I don't know what it is, but it really works for me. I really enjoy just looking around this map. And it's really fun to play on, as I say. A lot of fighting over Gregory and Ivan. That was mainly where I was when I played this map. Really good pushing back and forth there. Dimitri, obviously, for me, the easier one to get into at that side. Center, probably the easier to get into in the middle if you're very aggressive pushing through. And it is worth 2 points after all, so could be worth it. And Chariton around here, as I say, it's got so many trees around it. I think you could do a lot of sneaky stuff getting in there. Whereas maybe Elena to some extent, but I feel like it's easier to get into this one because of the tree lines here as well. You could do, if it's not covered down here, you could get plenty of stuff around the back. And remember, there's roads and stuff going through this forest here. So I'm seeing some sneaky plays around the back there. Obviously, it's going to be near the spawn. Maybe you won't hold on to it for that long, but it could make all the difference when you're capping those points. I don't know what you all think, but I just really like this map. And I wish there were more maps that were corner to corner, because, as I say, psychologically, it just makes them feel really big. But I won't bore you and show you anymore, as I'm sure you're all eager to play it. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a great evening, and I'll see you all soon.